Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Joel, and today we're gonna continue where we left off in the previous video. So today we're gonna continue implementing our endpoints. So we left off with the get all and create endpoint. We're gonna add the updates, deletes, and then we're gonna create our front end using React JS. So what I need to do now is, instead of receiving in these three parameters in my create endpoint, I'm actually gonna store this in an object. So I'm gonna create a new project called it's gonna the name of the project is gonna be CRM manager dot contracts. So CRM manager dot contracts. You guys can name everything you want. So you guys can name models or whatever, but I'm gonna name contracts. I'm gonna press next, create. Here I have my project. So I'm gonna add a new folder called requests, another folder called customer. In here I'm gonna create my object that's gonna store all this information. So the name of the class is gonna be create customer request. It's gonna be a public record. In here I'm gonna put the three parameters we have here in my create customer request. So it's going to be string name, text number, and street. Street with uppercase and name. Okay, perfect. So now what I need to do is I'm going to my API project. I'm gonna add the project reference, and I'm gonna add the contract project. Press OK. Nice. And now I can receive my create customer customer request. Okay, let me just add this reference. Okay, and now we are receiving our request, but as you guys can notice, I'm having an error because these three parameters don't exist. So one way to fix this, I can come here and put create customer request dot name, create customer request dot text number, and create customer request dot street. This is nice and it works for now, but as the project grows, you guys will probably notice that the customer will have more properties, and instead of using it like this, I can actually use a library to map my create customer request to my create customer command. The library that I'm going to use is Mapster, which is a really nice library that maps my entity to another. So I'm going to add this library here in my application project. So I'm going to my application project, manage NuGet package, and I'm going to install I'm going to install Mapster. And now I actually need to add Mapster dependency injection, because the reason why I'm installing this in my application layer, it's because I'm also going to need this to return my models from the queries to custom objects. So, and I'm going to use Mapster to map that instead of mapping manually. But you guys can also instead of using Mapster, you guys can also map manually, or if you guys want to, you guys can also use AutoMapper, which is a pretty famous library to map. So yeah, okay, so now that we added our Mapster, I need to add the configuration in the startup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, add a new line, and add this. So this is the configuration that I need to use Mapster throughout my application. So this is all I need. And now what I need to do is, I'm going to my API layer, I'm gonna add the IMapper interface, which is from the Mapster. So, and I'm gonna receive here mapper. And now instead of using it like this, I can just use it like this: mapper.map, oops, map. I'm gonna use create customer command, and now I'm gonna receive the create customer request. Alright, so let's test this out, guys. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here just so you guys can see how this works. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new customer. So it's gonna be me, and it's gonna be from USA. Execute. So we have our name, street, text, number correctly implemented. And now, if you guys can see the command, it's already mapped to the correct fields. So you guys don't need to do another extra configuration. You guys can just use it like this. And if I'm going to my get all, I can see my newly added customer, which is me. So as you guys can see, it's a pretty nice library to use. So this part is done. What we need to do now is we're gonna implement, we're gonna use the mapper in our application layer, because I don't want to return our information like it was. So I'm going to my query, list all customer query, and instead of returning like this, I'm gonna use the Mapster here. So I'm gonna create a new folder inside customers. You guys can name models, DTOs, whatever. I'm gonna use DTOs, and I'm gonna put here the customer DTO, public record, and it will only contain the 3 parameters. So it's gonna be string name, string text number, and string street. Oh, and also the ID. Sorry, int ID. Okay. And now what I can do is my query, list all customers query. I'm gonna return a customer DTO. Come here, customer DTO. Let me change here too. And now I'm gonna add private read only imapper. And I'm gonna return mapper.map list customer DTO, and I'm gonna wait the I'm gonna await the customer get all. But if you guys remember, I have a problem here, because my customer, the ID is using a value object. So the customer ID has a property called value, and that's where my ID is. So for this, I need to do a custom configuration. So I'm gonna add a new folder here called common. Common mapping customer mapping. So what I need to do now is I need to implement a custom configuration to my conversion from customer to customer DTO, because if you guys remember, my customer ID is in a value object and the ID is inside the value, and I need to get the value to my customer DTO.id. So to do that, I'm gonna create a custom configuration. So to my customer DTO, so I'm gonna put config.new config customer DTO, and here I'm gonna create a new mapping. So map .id. So this is my customer DTO ID. It's gonna use the source.id.value. Okay, so this is all we need. Let's just test it out and see if the conversion is working correctly. All right, let me just see, execute, and it is. Nice. So you don't see the value here. I mean, you guys could, you guys don't really need to do this. I just prefer to use it like this. So yeah. All right, so let's just continue. Let me close this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the missing commands, which is the update and delete. So let me just go to here, get a new folder called create, move these two files here, and I'm gonna create a new folder called update. Here I'm gonna add the update customer command. Okay, it's gonna be a public record, and here I'm gonna use pretty much the same properties the create customer has, and I'll just need to add the ID. So it's gonna be a string int ID. It's gonna be I request. Oops, I request. Okay, so let's just create the command handler. So let me create a new class called update customer command handler. Okay, public class. So I request handler and command. Okay, so now it's going to implement the method that is missing. Okay, so now what we need to do is I'm gonna add here the repo. So private read only I customer repository. Okay. And here I'm gonna tell the customer repository is gonna be equal to customer repository. Okay, so now here what we need to do is first we need to get the customer. So what we're gonna do is var customer, it's gonna be equal await customer repository dot get by ID, and here I need to pass here the customer ID dot create, and here I'm gonna pass the request dot ID, because if you guys remember, my repo is using the value object ID to get by ID. Okay, so here we have the customer, and now what we need to do is I'm gonna tell if customer is not null. What I'm gonna do is customer dot set street, set name first, set name, set street, and customer dot set text number. And then I'm gonna use await customer repository dot update async. So this is all we need to do. So let me just go to my customer domain. So these methods in my customer I've created to update the values from the entity. So set street, set name, and set text number. Okay, so to test this out, let's just go to our contract, because I need to create my creating a request. So it's going to be update customer request dot, so it's going to be a public record, and we're going to add here the values. ID. Okay, so this is all we need for now. ID, name, text number, street. Okay, perfect. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create a new endpoint. So it's gonna be a HTTP put update create customer request. Update customer request, update customer request. I'm going to create a create update command. Okay, so let's just see how it goes. Oops, I meant to do like this. Okay, so we have our update. So let me just get this. I can just come here and update. And I'm gonna put street, so it's gonna be England, Joel 1. Okay, let me just see if it worked. Wait, didn't do the request. Right, something is wrong. Let me just see. Update customer request. I don't even know if I don't know if it worked though. Let me just see. I think it did though. Just looked the same to me. Okay. Wait, is it saying? Oh, my bad, guys. Sorry. My bad. I didn't notice. I didn't notice. Okay, now it's working fine. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna let this slide in the video so you guys can see the mistake that I did. All right, so let's just see. Now it's gonna work perfectly. Yes, it is working perfectly. Okay, let me just put Joel again, and let this like this. Okay, perfect. Okay, it's working fine, guys. So let's just implement the delete request. So actually I didn't implement the delete command, so let me use a new folder, delete. So as you guys can see, the CQRS has a little bit of a boilerplate. So some people might dislike it, but in some situations, it's nice. Of course, this project would work without CQRS because it's pretty simple. But in some projects, this implementation might be really good. So delete customer command. Okay. So here in this command, I'm just gonna get the ID. Delete customer. Request handler, delete customer command. Okay, let me implement the interface here. Okay, customer in here. I'm just gonna use this. Oops. Okay, and now what I need to do is delete okay, so this is all we need. Let me create oh, I forgot. Wait, let me just go to my API. HTTP delete. here we're gonna receive through our query the ID, so it's gonna be ID, in here. Wait, actually forgot, I need to add this mapping too, because I need to pass the ID, so it's going to be config dot customer, not customer, it's going to be customer delete customer command. Wait, I actually don't need this. Wait, let me just, I think I can work without it, so I can just pass it here. So let me just go to my, I can just do it here. I don't need to map. Okay, my word, let me just see, I don't know, but I think it will work with just this. All right, let me just delete by ID, it's gonna be 1. ID, no, it didn't work, okay. Okay, so I actually need it. So it's gonna be config dot new config int command, it's gonna be delete command customer command. In here I'm gonna create map with source, and I'm gonna tell here delete new delete customer command, and I'm gonna pass here the source. All right, so let me just go back to customer. So here I'm gonna tell that I'm gonna use the ID, so ID, and here I'm gonna change it to ID and put here, so delete customer command ID. So it should be working fine. All right, let me just create a new one. Test. Okay, let me see if it exists. I don't know, the ID should be 2. Okay, and I'm gonna delete the customer with the ID of 2. Oh, okay, so we don't have the method implemented. So let me go to my repo. Oh yeah, I didn't implement here the customer ID. So let me just get the equal to context dot customer dot where. Right, I can just do equals ID customer default. In here I can just tell await context dot remove. Oh, I cannot wait here, sorry. I will await next. Okay. Let me just see if it works now. Should be working now. Okay, it worked, which is nice. Okay, nice. Perfect. So what we need to do now is, I mean, you guys could, instead of getting the ID here, getting the customer here, I could get the ID above and just pass here what I want to delete. So I can, if there's an exception, I can treat it there. But just since this is just for demonstration, it's okay. I can just leave it like this, or we can change it later. We'll see. Okay, so now we have all of our commands working well. We just need to add a new query. So to get by ID, so let me just get it. So let me just list all. Let me just put these 2 here, and I'm going to create a new query. New folder called get by ID. In here, I'm going to create a new query called get by ID query, get customer by ID query. here. I request, and now I'll just create the query handler. So it's going to be I request handler. Let's implement the method, and let's get the customer repository. Okay, customer. Okay, perfect. So what we need to do is just let's just get our actually wait, I forgot. Let me, instead of I forgot to put here the customer DTO. My bad. So customer DTO, and here customer DTO. Okay, so let's just get our customer. So we can just do like customer. It's gonna be like await customer, like get by ID, request the request ID, and I'm gonna return. Oh, I forgot to mapper. So private read only I mapper. In here we're gonna return mapper.map customer DTO customer, and I think this is all I need. Okay, and it should be working fine now. Let's get by ID. Oh, I didn't add the method here. ID. Mapper dot map get customer query by ID, and here we're gonna pass the ID, and now I need to create like this a custom mapping. So it's gonna be get customer by ID query, and this is all we need. All right, let's see how it goes. Let's get by ID 1. And it's working perfectly. So all of our endpoints, it's working correctly. So which is pretty nice. I don't think we need to do anything here. And now we just need to add our front end. So we're gonna use React Js. So for this, I'm gonna open my VS Code. So I'm gonna open in the source folder where there is all my projects, and I'm gonna add a React project. So I'm gonna use Vite. So if you don't know Vite, we'll go there. So you can just come here and we're gonna use it. So I'm gonna get this command and I'm gonna put it here. So Vite latest. So it's gonna be CRM manager .web. I can put React Web because we're gonna add more UI, so it's gonna be React for now, and we're gonna use TypeScript. Okay, so let me go to the source folder. So it's gonna be CRM manager .react web, and here we're gonna do an npm install. And okay, it finished install. So before I start the project, I need to do just some configuration. So I think I can change here some stuff. So it's gonna be server. it's like this, port, yes, and I'm gonna use the local 3000, okay. So npm run dev, and it should be working correctly. If I go to localhost 3000, yes, it's working correctly. Okay, nice. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create a page where we can create customers and see the customers list. So to do that, what we're gonna do is first I need to add some pages, routing, and some components. So first off, let me remove all this stuff. Let me remove all this stuff. I don't need this, and I don't need this. Okay. Wait, I actually need this because I'm gonna do. It's gonna be 100%. Okay, so now what we need to do is we're gonna add React router. So you guys probably know React router. Okay, let's install this. We also gonna use Bootstrap 5 for our UI. So I'm gonna add React Bootstrap. Wait, did it change the page? Oh, I think they did. Okay. Now we just need to add this. Yeah, we need to add this in our app. Okay, and now I'm gonna add it again, but I'm gonna put here JS, and I'm gonna put here JS so you can import JavaScript. Okay, so let me see. I think this is all we need for now. Okay, so let me just see if everything is in the package. Okay. Also, wait, I almost forgot. So we're gonna use Axios. So I'm gonna install Axios. So I'm gonna use this to fetch data. And we're gonna use React Query, which is pretty nice library to use. Let me add here. Where is the npm? Oh, it's here. Okay. So this is pretty much our stack for our front end. So I think this is all we need for now. Okay. So let me create a new folder called common. Here I'm gonna put everything that is common throughout the application. So this is gonna be layout. Okay. I'm gonna create a new file called main.layout.csx. Let's create the layout component, main layout. Okay, so here this is where we're gonna show. This is where all pages will go through. So yeah. So here, since if you guys don't know Bootstrap, you guys can follow along, but I'll leave the documentation in the video description. So yeah, so first I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the main container. So this is gonna be a div.container/fluid. Okay, so here this is where all of our pages will go through, and here I'm gonna tell that I'm gonna use the outlet from React DOM. I also need to create my main.nav.tsx. This is gonna be my navbar, so main nav. Okay, I'm gonna leave this for now. And this main nav is gonna be above here, so main nav. Okay, so this is pretty much our layout. And I also need to, in my main, I'm gonna remove the React strict modes, and I'm gonna add the browser router. So it's gonna be like this. Browser router. This is from React DOM, so we can create the routes inside the app. Okay, and now here this is where I'm gonna create the main routes of our pages. So, but first let me just add the React query implementation. So let me just copy this React query. Okay, so this is going to be the query client, and inside here I'm going to put my routing. So let me just add the main pages. So it's going to be routes, routes, now. So it's going to be route path. So the path is going to be the main one. So I'm going to put like this, and element, it's going to be our main layout. Okay, let me add this one too. Main layout. Okay, perfect. So here inside, now I'm gonna create all the routes that are gonna be associated with this. So let me just create a custom page so we can see how it goes. So let me get a new folder called pages, or you guys can name whatever you guys want. So I'm just gonna put pages. I'm gonna add a new folder called, for example, customers. So our customer. I'm gonna put here customer.page.tsx. Okay, so this is gonna be the customer page. Okay, for now, this just works for now. Okay, and let's just test it out. I'm just gonna put here the route, path, customers. In here, I'm gonna put element. It's gonna be the customer page. Okay, we can just test it out and see if it works. So, wait, let me just see. Wait, before that, let me just add the nav. I almost forgot. So let's add the nav bar here. So I'm just gonna copy a simple nav from the Bootstrap documentation. So Bootstrap 5 nav bar. So we can just come here. We'll customize it later, but for now I'm just gonna let it like this. I'm gonna change this to class name. Tab index, let me change this to this. I think that's all we need to work. Okay, doesn't contain any more errors. Okay, let me just change this to navbar light white. And I'm gonna put here the customer CRM manager. Let's test this out and see how it goes. And it's working. This is our new layout. I know it doesn't look right because everything is white, but I will change the background. So I'm gonna put gray background color. Scroll. Let me just get the background, the gray background color. So I can use this one. I can come here to my FCSS background color, and now you should see the difference. And yeah, this is our nav bar. So let me just put the navbar a little bit more stylish. So I can just come here to my main nav. We can just set it to rounded. It's not rounded. It's shadow truss. Ooh. Okay, shadow -2. I think it was shadow. Is it shadow truss? Oh, okay, shadow truss small. Okay, we add a little bit of shadow, which is nice now. We can add links. So instead of, I can remove all this one. So pretty much remove this because I'll be needing it maybe later, but for now I don't need this. Okay, we're just gonna let this one, so it's gonna be to customers, and instead of an A we're gonna use the link. Oops. Link. And to customers. Okay, let's see if it worked. And it's working, guys. It's nice. Alright, let me change this too. So link to, I'm gonna go back to the main page, which is blank. It's okay. Okay, so guys, so we have our app working correctly, which is really nice. And now we just need to add the content here. So let's see it. Alright, so we can come here. Let me close every page. What I need to do now is I'm inside the comment, I'm gonna add a new folder called service. In here, I'm gonna add a new folder called API. So inside service API, this is where we're gonna save all of our calls. So I'm gonna create a new folder called customer. In here, I'm gonna create a new file called customer.api.yes. In here, this is where I'm gonna use Axios to make the request. So what I can do now is I'm gonna create a new method, an async method. So it's gonna be export async function get all customers, and this is gonna return await axios.get. And here I need to pass the link. So let me just open my Visual Studio. Let me just copy this. So it's going to be this link /API/customer. Customer. Okay. But if I try this out now, I'm gonna have an error. It's gonna say I'm gonna have a course error. So to fix that, you guys just need to come here to program. Not program. Let me go to it's program. Sorry. Let me go to program, and I'm gonna add this piece of code. So I can just come here. We're gonna add a new policy called Frontend, so it will allow us to make requests for API, everyone actually. So in production, I don't recommend to use it like this, but since this is a demonstration, it's okay. In here, in the back, not in the back, but down here, I'm gonna put here app.useCourse Frontend. Okay. So if we call this in the frontend, so let me just return await access.get. Okay, so if I go to my customer page and I use the what's called the query React query client, so what I need to do is const data use query. So it's gonna be customers, and here I'm gonna pass the method, which is gonna be the get all customers. Okay, so if we try this out now, we can see that it's gonna work. Let me just go to my front-end page. Let me go to the inspect network, and it's working perfectly, guys. See, because of I already added the core, so it's working correctly. So we just need to show the data. So first off, let's just create the page. Let me put here the page name. So it's gonna be div dot row dot com employees, not employees, customers. Okay, so I could, instead of container fluid, I'm actually going to use container. Might be better for this. So it's going to be container. Okay, container. Let me just add a little bit of margin so it doesn't get too close to the navbar. Okay, it's better. So I can come here, put customers, and now I'm going to create a new row. And this is where I'm going to put my data. So what I need to do first is I'm going to create a new folder called components. In here, I'm going to create a new component called customers list. So it's going to be customers.list.tsx. Customer list. Customers. I'm going to put any for now because I need to create the type. But if I go to the Bootstrap documentation, I will see the table. I'm going to use a simple table. Let me just see. Yeah, I can use this one. Wait, let me just, I'll change the style later. I'm just going to copy this one. Okay, I'm gonna put here the name, text, number, and street. In here in the body, I'm gonna do a loop. So let me just first, before the loop, let me create a new folder inside command named models. Let me create the customer RTS, and I'm gonna export this interface customer ID number, name string, text number string, and I'm gonna add here the street, which is string 2. Okay, so here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loop through my customers list. So I'm gonna do is customers.map customer number. Okay, return. I'm gonna return this one. Take the row. In here, you're gonna put here the name. Oops. In the dot text number. And here I'm gonna put la.street. Okay, customers list. Now what we will do is I'm gonna add a little bit of margin. In here I'm gonna show the list. So to do that, I'm just gonna pass this. I'm gonna call this customers list, and here I'm gonna pass the customers, which will be inside data. So it's gonna be data. wait, actually, I can change this. I can just put it like, where's the service? Common service, API service, response. I can just put it like this and return response.data. Okay, so now here I can just put here data because this will be the result from the API. Okay, but I only want to show this if it's if the API already loaded. So React query as a field called is loading, which is really nice. So I could show a spinner or say it's loading. So to do that, I'll just put it like this. I can just put it like is loading, and I'm gonna show a paragraph saying loading. And if it's done loading, I can just show my customers list. Okay, let's just see if it works. And it's working, guys. It's nice. Okay, it's working. So yeah, our customers list is working correctly. Let me just style this a little bit. We'll let it change the style. So, but for now, we can just see that it's working perfectly. Okay, so what we need to do now is I can just, I'm gonna create a new button here. So I'll come here to the customer page. I will add a new button. So to do that, I'm just gonna create here a new row, margin top 3. And this row is gonna be the flag justify content. And it's gonna be button.btn, btn primary, and it's gonna be create. Okay, nice. And this button, it's not a button actually, it's a link, my bad. Link to create. Let me just add here. Okay, now it should be working fine. Okay, nice. Okay, so I can just add the create button here. So I can just come to my page customer. I will add a new page called customer.create.tsx. Customer create page, and here this page will be where we're going to create our customers. So what I need to do before that is I need to come here. I'm going to add a new route, so it's going to be create, and it's going to be a create customer page. It's customer create page. Yeah, my bad. Okay, so if I go to the UI, I can go to the page, which is nice. Okay, so now what we need to do is I need to add the form to create a customer. So I'm gonna create a new component here. So it's gonna be a customer.form.tsx, customer form. Here, this is going to be our form to create our customer. So I can actually just come to the Bootstrap library documentation. So it's going to be, I'm going to use form control. I can use this one. So I can pretty much copy this, and I'm gonna let only the things that I'm gonna use. Let me change this class to class name. So here it's gonna be the name. You can remove this. Class type, class name, ID name, and I'm gonna add here the name, which is gonna be name. Okay, we can actually copy this at least 3 times. Name, text number, text number, text, maybe text, and this is going to be street. Okay, so the fields we're going to receive here. So what we need to do here is form. So okay, I have everything correct. I'll need to have the method to submit, which is what I'm going to use here. So on click, I'm going to submit. I'm going to need the customer. We're going to change this later, guys, just for demonstration, don't worry. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the value. It's going to be customer.name. And I'm going to pass here a method that will keep track of the changes on our form. So it's going to be the onChange. So here I can put here onChange. I'm going to pass here the onChange. Okay. So you're gonna need this in every input dot text number, and here it's gonna be street. Okay, so this is all we need for now. I'm going now on my create page. I need to create my model, so it's gonna be customer export interface, create customer name. I'm just gonna copy this actually. So okay, now let me just create my customer set customer. So if you guys don't know React, this might be a little bit hard, but I'll leave everything that I'm doing in the description of this video. So yeah, use state, create customer, and here we're gonna pass some default values: name, street, oops, and text number. Okay, now what I need to do is I'm gonna put here my div, so it's gonna be div.row. You guys already know. Oh, h1 create customer. Okay, let's add some margin. I'm gonna create a row, margin 3, and here this is where I'm gonna put my form. So I'm gonna put inside of a cart. It's gonna be div.cart, cart dash body, and here I'm gonna put customer form employee not employee, customer. I'm gonna pass the customer. I actually forgot, I need to implement the method on change and submit. So on change, I'm gonna receive here the target, so it's gonna be target. In here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it here like the update customer equals customer. In here, I'm gonna put targets.name, target.name, target.value, and set customer update customer. So this should work. Oops, I forgot. I shouldn't save and function submit. Okay, let me pass here on change. And submit. Okay, let's see if it's working fine. Wait, let me put this inside call. Okay, and it's nice, it's perfect, guys. Let me see if it's okay. It's not working. Oh yeah, I actually wait, this error is from the customer page, so this is due. I didn't set the key. Actually forgot to put the key. Okay, it's not complaining anymore, but we are typing and it's not changing. Okay, so let's go to our form. Change. Let me go to my create. Wait, my bad. I forgot. Put curly braces here. Now it should be working fine. Yes, sir. Nice. Okay. Customers create. Oh wait, I didn't change here. Okay, it's perfect, it's nice. This is all we need. Okay, so now what we need to do is we just need to call our API to create a customer. So what we need to do is we're gonna create a new function. So it's for async function create customer. We're gonna receive a customer, which will be type of create customer. And here we're just gonna do a post. In here I'm gonna pass the customer, and in my create customer page, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new, I'll put here const mutation. We use mutation. Okay, and here what I'm gonna do is it's not mutation, it's mutate, but mutate. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass the my functions, which is gonna be create customer. Wait, I didn't put camel case. Wait, let me go to my API endpoint. I'll later change in the other places. So create customer. Okay, in here on success, what we're gonna do is we're gonna navigate to our page, so to the employees page, I mean. So what we're gonna do is router. Wait, I didn't add the navigation, so it's gonna be, I'm gonna add here the navigation. So it's gonna be const navigate navigate equals use navigate. This is from React Tom, and here what I'm gonna do is navigate to the employees page, and this is pretty much what we need. Navigate. Why is it giving an error? Mutate, and here on submit, we're gonna mutate, and we're gonna pass here the create customer entity, which is gonna be the customer. And this is all we need. Oh, I forgot. Get all customers and get all customers. So this should be working. So let me just go to my customer controller, create, and see if it works. Let's go to our UI, customers, create, and submit, and it's working, guys, as you guys can see. Oh yeah, my bad, I forgot. I forgot, it gotta be like this. Let me go to my customer create. And it created. Let's try it again in a more clean way. So text number and test submit. Okay, so we actually have a problem here. Not so much employees. Wait, what name did I use to my? It's not employees, it's customers. My bad. Manual. Okay, it's nice, guys. It's working correctly. So yeah, so we just implemented our front end using React. We implemented a simple layout to create customers and show on the UI the customers. I can put this on a card just to be like more beautiful. Yeah, let me just put this in a card just to show how cool Bootstrap is, because I know a lot of fellas don't like Bootstrap. So yeah. I'll show you how nice we can put the page using Bootstrap. So let me just put here like div.card dash body, and I'll put here. Okay, it's nicer. I can put this card a little bit rounded. Okay, for it's nice, and I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow. Just it's more professional. Yeah, okay, it's nice now. Wait, I can actually, I think if I remove the stripped from the list, it might be cooler. Okay, I'm gonna let it like this. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much what we did, guys. So in the next video, we'll add some validation in our UI, so these fields won't be empty. We will be also using, we will also add some validation in our API. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much our front end and back end implemented using React JS and .NET Core Web API. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I made some mistakes, but I'm gonna keep it in the video so you guys can follow the same mistakes that I did. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll answer on the comments below. So yeah, guys,